So I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I didn't want to upload this video too late, but I was just a tad bit busy today. So today's video idea is going to be on Dokkan's worst meta. What was Dokkan's worst meta? Now I did not pull up any pages at all, but as you guys know, I love using the Dokkan wiki, and I always keep it pulled up for essentially almost every video. But I did pull up Microsoft Paint because we pretty much have to visualize this together, and I should probably move myself over to the center, like right around here. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and first map all the metas out inside a bubble. I guess we'll just go ahead and use the black ink. We'll do a circle here. We'll do a circle here. We'll do another circle here, a circle here, and a circle here. And then the first meta we're gonna put as number 1. Excuse my handwriting, but I'm using a damn mouse, so as you guys know, it's gonna look ugly. I don't have the little drawing pad. I should get one of those things. All right. So number 1. So the first meta is going to be I always call it the leader skill / Dokkan event meta because around the start of the game, back in January of 2015, it was pretty much, it was leader skills. Like, whatever leaders you were using to build the specific team for that team to get that quest stage done or that little story event done. It was pretty much what that was for 2015. Going up till 2017. And of course, when you get to September 1st of 2015, which I'm pretty sure that's when the first Dokkan event does drop with that Broly, the Z Broly specifically, on JP, obviously. That's when it's ushered into the little Dokkan event meta. So I just combined them together for 2015 up until 2017. I coined it as the leader skill / Dokkan event meta. I don't know what other way I would coin it. And the reason why I do coin it that way is, of course, leader skills at the time were, as I've already said, quite important for team building. And I am aware that category leader skills, the first category leader skills, do come out before Battle Road. That is something I am well aware of. Anyways, I don't know how long this video is going to be. This might be a long video, so strap in. Now, with that being said, 1 is going to be the leader skills / Dokkan event meta, and that lasted from, we're just going to put 15 up until 17. We'll just leave it as that. And like I've already said, I'm well aware that categories were already created right before Battle Road. So we're just going to go ahead and put a green star right next to it and then put C for, we'll just put cat. So we just memorize that categories were out at the time before the little Battle Road meta. Now, funny enough, would the Battle Road meta be coined alongside the category meta? I think that's interesting. I think putting a category, like the category meta / Battle Road meta together is that sounds about right. Although, for the first meta, that being, of course, I should put I'm just going to put it right next to it. Let me just grab up we'll just grab purple. Yeah, purple's fine. We'll just put LS, and then we'll put DE for Dokkan event. All right, so of course that's gonna be for the first one. Is it fair to group a category? Is it fair to coin the second meta that comes after the leader skill / Dokkan event meta with the Battle Road meta? Is that fair? Because categories were out before Battle Road on JP specifically, of course. I think for the sake of this video, we're gonna do that. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. All right. So for number 2, go for number 2. That's going to be the Battle Road meta, and that lasts from, let's go ahead and grab up red. That lasts from 2017 up until 2019. Yeah, 2019, of course, with the LGE, of course, Legendary Goku event meta. And we'll go ahead and I think, we're gonna coin those two together. All right, so we're gonna grab up. We're gonna get the purple. So of course we're gonna put cat, and then meta slash. Okay, I'm just making sure it looks fine on the other screen. Oh, I was about to put leader skill again. Excuse me. SBR. And then we're just gonna leave it exactly like that. Okay, so that's gonna be enough for number 2. So I know the writing looks absolutely fucking terrible, but please, just stay with me. Stay with me. This is like a discussion video. All right. So for number 2, it's going to be the category, of course, leader skill meta. Let's put a LS right under it. The category leader skill meta slash super battle road meta. And then for number 3, of course, it's going to be for the legendary Goku event meta. And was there anything? Could we group that with a name like the stacking meta? You could just like put in parentheses stacking meta, like, because that's pretty much what it was. Do you stack defense? Yes, good unit. No, ass. Now you do have some outliers that were good for the legendary Goku event who didn't stack defense, but the case in point is that stacking defense was very, very important for this specific meta. So this is 2019 going up until 2020. Yeah, because we get ESBR in Saiyan Day of 2020. Okay. And then we'll get the purple. We'll just put LGE. Yeah, let me just grab up this. LGE. Yeah, I guess we'll put in print. Oh my god, that G looks terrible. Hold on. I know, my handwriting in Microsoft Paint is terrible, but please just bear with me, guys. I'm using a damn mouse. I'm not good at writing with a mouse. And if you're a god at writing with a mouse, listen, if you can come fix this for me, like if you could fix this for me inside the Discord server and just make it look a lot more prettier, that would just be, oh my god, I would love you forever. But with that being said, we'll just put stacking meta. Okay, all right, that looks good. And I just left a star there just because categories were out before battle at the time, so that's just gonna be a outlier for the leader skill slash Dokkan meta. I'm just gonna leave circled. Okay, and then next is going to be the ESBR meta. I think we need another circle. Yeah, we're gonna need another circle. Number 4 is gonna be ESBR. Okay, and then we're just gonna take. It's gonna be 2020. Of course, with 20 it's just gonna be short for 2020. Like 15 is 2015, and then 17 is 2017, so on and so forth. That way you guys know. So it's gonna be 2020 to 2021. Okay, and we're going to put ESBR, short for Extreme Super Battle Road, as you guys already know. All right, so yeah, that's just going to be pretty much that from Saiyan Day of 2020 going up until the 6-year anniversary. We have the God Event meta, of course, that comes out. So what's that, like January 28th? Like basically the end of January of 2021. Yeah, the end of January is in 2021 is when we get the God Event meta. So we could just go ahead and I'm going to put that up there now. Is there anything special I'd put in quotations right next to, I could realistically put this, but it's for the sake of the video. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah, you can group category meta. You can group the category leader skills with the super battle meta because they were pretty important. It's funny. You could make the case that the importance of leader skills were from 2015 up until 2019. And then past 2019 onwards, Dokkan just starts just shotgunning leader skills left, right, and center. Okay. Anyways, number 5. Number 5 is going, of course, be the God Event meta. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Let's grab up the red. And that's gonna be from 2021 till 2022, as you guys know. God Event meta lasts for a year, and then we get the red zone meta, obviously. And then in purple, we're just gonna put God. I mean, okay, everything looks fine. This shit looks like scribble scrabble. Looks like something that like a kid would make. And I'm sure there are kids out there that can do way better than me in Microsoft Paint, because I do not use this like at all. I'm just gonna be very blunt about it. Okay, and the last circle is going to be, I forgot to make a last circle, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw it up there now. Okay, looks good. Yeah, look good. Okay. We're gonna make it like a, okay, it's not gonna be a circle, but it's gonna be like an oval. Yeah, okay, that's a terrible oval. Okay. I just want it to be visible. Okay. All right, perfect. All right. And then, of course, meta number 6 is going to be, obviously, 200% leader skill, 200% slash red zone slash etc. Because etc. is going to be for other difficult content like i.e. Supreme Battle Spectacle, the birth of the Shadow Dragon event, back when that was the toughest event in the game. Well, it's toughest stage in the game for Omega specifically, and Sin. What else? Yeah, Cell Max, birth of the Shadow Dragons event, the Supreme Battle Spectacle, so on and so forth. But yeah. Alright, so number 6 is going to be that specifically. And we're just going to go ahead and leave it as, I guess we'll just leave it as, better yet, Red Zone. You know what? Yeah, no, we're going to leave it exactly like that. You guys could argue, you can argue this with me down below. You can tell me this. You could argue that we can create like a 7th bubble and make it like, what would we coin this fucking meta? Like, I think it's fine if we just coin it as 200% red zone slash etc. And etc. is going to be like for like, you know, the events I've already named a couple seconds ago. Yeah, we're just gonna leave it as number 6. Because I don't know what the hell to coin another event. Like, what would we call it? The defensive meta? Oh, the defensive meta has, excuse me, it's pretty much been the defensive meta since, Battle Road? Pretty much. Battle Road? So you can just say that defense has been pretty much meta since from 2017 all the way up until now. Pretty damn much. But yeah. From 2015 to 2017 was defense important. You know what? That's another video for another day. That's another discussion video for another day. I love doing these discussion videos. I love it a lot. Anyways. Yeah, 2022. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. Those twos look terrible. So 2022. Put 2 and 2. And then we're just going to put present. I mean, we could add a 7th bubble, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what the hell to coin this meta. The etc. meta? Like, what? I'm going to call it the high defense meta. The dodge meta? Shout out to Truth. I'm going to put a little star. This little green star is going to be for... Okay, this green star is going to be... 7th... could be added. You could add another bubble for another meta, but like, what the hell would you call it? I literally don't know, because red zone isn't the toughest content now, right? It's Cell Max and then Supreme Battle Spectacle. Yeah, it's pretty much that. You can pretty easily crush red zone. Now, could you still get cooked in red zone? Yes, but it isn't. It's not within the top 3 toughest fights right now. It's like you got Cell Max, you got Beast, and you got Gogeta. And you can also argue that that Supreme Battle Spectacle Vegeta, that guy, he don't play around either. Yeah, nah, I've been cooked a couple of times. I'm not even gonna lie. Anyways, so let's go ahead and add these arrows. And if for whatever reason you guys want to go ahead and use this, by all means. I mean, this is pretty much how I look at Dokkan in like a history standpoint. If you guys have like if you guys have a different opinion to this, and you know, would like to tell me how how I would actually be able to go between meta to meta to meta, and like how you would order it, pretty much is how I'm saying it. Okay, I know this looks terrible. said this like 1,000 times. But the, oh wait, you guys can't even see the little star with the, that says cat. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and erase that. Can I zoom out actually? I could, but I can't even like center it. This is how you know I don't use Microsoft Paint. Like, yeah, I just don't use it. Okay, just pretend that says cat right there, okay? We're just gonna go ahead and just put, we're gonna fix that right now. Okay, let me erase that. Okay. Now, worst meta. What would the worst meta be? Okay. So when I think worst meta, I'm going to be completely honest, you guys. I came straight into this video just gun blazing. I gave this video like no immediate thought. Like, this is one of these video ideas I typed down while I was pretty much at work, and I was like, oh, this sounds like a cool ass video idea. And spoiler alert, I'm going to do another video talking about best meta, and I'm going to use the same exact chart. But yeah. Worst meta. How would I grade a bad meta? So how I would grade a bad meta is specifically based off of fights, right? And unfortunately, I don't got too much. The only meta I can say I don't have too much, too much knowledge on. Even though, funny enough, I've spent the most time studying the Leader Skill / Dokkan event meta. And I don't have the most knowledge on it because I know about the Bad Row meta. I know about the Legendary Goku event meta. I know about the ESBR meta. I know about the God event meta. And I, of course, know about today's meta. I completely forgot to add the purple text to it. I don't even have space to add it. Oh my god. Let's just go ahead and put, I'm just going to put 200%. For anyone that recreates this for me, please add 200% / red zone / etc. Because we're just going to go ahead and put red zone and then we'll just put etc. Okay. So I'm getting off track again. So for metas again. All right. Worst meta, I would grade it off of fights in particular. Now, the first ones we're going to go ahead and rule out right now. We're going to go ahead and immediately, okay, let's grab, what color do I use here to X stuff out? We'll do baby blue. Yeah, light turquoise. My bad, MS Paint. So, first things first, we rule out today's meta. That's easy. Today's is definitely not the worst meta. I'm sorry. It's not. Dokkan is looking very, very healthy right now. And I love that the community, although there is a couple outliers, just saying, the community is definitely very passionate. I will say that. And they really love the game, pretty much. So community is healthy, and the game, I would argue, is looking in a pretty good spot. I would say so, even though these bosses are hitting you very, very. I mean, you can't even say that the bosses are hitting you very hard. Guys, in Battle Road, a boss hits you with a super, a boss touches you with a normal, you fucking explode. ESBR? Bro, ESBR? That shit was... Okay, calm down, Dev. We rule out today's meta. Easily. I also think... In terms of... And of course, I'm ruling it based off of fights. In terms of fights, I gotta rule out the God event meta too. I gotta. Yeah, where's my cursor at? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I gotta rule out the God event meta. Okay. We could also make this bigger, right? Yeah, we could. Yeah, so we're gonna rule this out. Of course, today's meta. And I gotta rule out the God event meta. I feel like... I'm gonna rule out the God event meta. Yeah. I feel like a meta based for the fights, I feel like it was completely fine. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the God event meta was fine. And I feel like today's meta is completely fine right now too. ESBR. I'm also going to rule out SBR because I feel like SBR had another pretty, it's crazy. I would argue between today's meta for the community, I would argue between today and SBR's meta was like it's like the height of the community like health. And like the way, how do I even describe this? I don't even know how to describe this. So I say that because people were sharing all these just great strategies on how to beat these battle road stages. And then today, people are like helping people build all these teams to beat red zone stages, beat these Supreme Battle Spectacle stages, sell max, even the Birth of the Shadow Dragon event, and so on and so forth. And of course, including the little 9th anniversary battle. You can also put that in there too. People are, I feel like the help, man, yeah. I feel like it's not as one-sided as the Legendary Goku event meta. I'm staring at the Legendary Goku event meta, and I'm staring at the Leader Skill / Dokkan event meta. I'm gonna X out the Battle Road meta. That's the next one I'm gonna X out because I don't think this was one of the worst metas. I absolutely do not. Although the research I did for Battle Road in the past, I did see that a bunch of people hated that Battle Road came out at that time. People hated Battle Road because they couldn't get it done. But newsflash, that's for almost any fucking new event. Like LGE, when LGE first came out, I was sitting inside Woodshop with my guy Elijah, and I was trying LGE out with transforming pre-EZA, transforming Goku, and I got blown out. I got destroyed, like literally. I remember when LGE first came out, like clear as day. Shout out Kevin and shout out Elijah. If you guys are watching, shout out to you too. But yeah, easily cutting those out, and yeah, we're gonna cut these out. So that leaves us with LGE, ESBR, and the Leader Skill / Dokkan event meta. Now I think I'm gonna cross out LGE, although it was a very, very one-sided meta. It's just like you stack defense. Oh, you do? Nice. If you were free to play unit that stack defense, you were getting the Gok 5000. It was not, no, I promise you, the glazing was crazy for every unit that stacked defense, because guess what? It was a stacking meta. Okay, so we're going to cross out LGE. Alright, now before I go ahead and talk about ESBR and the Leader Skill / Dokkan event meta between these two, which I could say why I think are either the worst metas, I'm going to start with talking about why I crossed out these 4 metas that you guys see on the screen. So first things first, today's meta, I feel as if though 200% leader skills are good for the game. I feel like it helped advance the game, of course, obviously. As well as with 200% leader skills, of course, we have the red zone meta that did kill off a good portion of the game's units. But it, in a way, was good. The soft meta reset was good because we all know that the units that got killed off were going to be brought back with an EZA. Right? Now, granted, some EZAs weren't good. I'm looking at you, STR Jiren. But then we have a great EZA like STR Kefla, who's just like top 1. And, of course, in Gotenks and so on and so forth. Now, with that coupled with the fact that I did talk about community health, I feel like this community is, between now and for Battle Road, these two specific metas for 2 and 6, for the Battle Road meta / category leader skill meta, and of course for today's meta, I feel like these are like the 2 healthiest we've seen for the meta today. Now, granted, there are people being negative as fuck and shitting on units, but guys, guess what? That's for every community. I hate to break it to you. That's every community. Every community you go to, people are going to be overly negative. It's gonna happen, okay? Don't be surprised. It's just for Dokkan. No, the hell it is not. Like, for example, for the Pokemon community. I don't even want to get into that one. Yeah, we're not even gonna get into that one. That gets a little crazy because me personally, I love the Pokemon, but sometimes when it shows up on my Twitter, it's people talk about competitive Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, for the, of course, 200% of the skill / I already pretty much explained for number 6. Number 5, the God event meta, I feel like it was pretty much good all around. It pretty much gave me, like, when I was at the time when the God event meta, well, it was basically the toughest content in the game at the time, I feel as if though it was a fair meta. And the reason why I say that is because the free-to-plays for the 6th year were obviously good enough to be ran in the event. And you could do it with almost any team that you could build that can get through the event. I've seen some pretty wacky ass teams get through the God event. People have beaten the God event with practically a full free-to-play team. People have done it. People have nuked the God event and practically one turn. People have one turn the God event. People have beaten it with a free-to-play team. People have used these ridiculous ass teams skillfully, of course, these ridiculous ass teams to beat it. It gives me like flashes of the battle royale meta where, of course, you have the nuking, you have the nuking slash blitzing, you have the weird defensive leader skill where you use like a double Bodum Magetta for that for the low damage reduction, or you would use like a double, what's his name, like an Android 13, the double attack lowering leader skill. I believe that's what it was. But yeah, that pretty much goes into with number two. Number two, I feel like for number 2 and number 5, of course, the Super Battle Royale meta slash the God event meta for 2 and 5, I feel like, and you guys see they're literally right over there, team building creativity, basically all-time high. Now, of course, for the Legendary Goku event meta, it pretty much ushered in a new style of content, long events. And although it was a very, very straightforward, linear-ass event where you stack, you're good, you don't, and of course there are outliers, but if you don't, you suck. Although that wasn't every unit that didn't stack. There were a couple of units that were pretty much goated for the event. I feel like the event was fine because it was technically a new fight. It was a new type of fight introduced into Dokkan. Now, could you technically say Boss Rush was like a early prototype of the Legendary Goku event? Yes and no. Yes, because it's multiple fights and multiple phases. And no, because it pretty much resets the boss's stats back down to a lower stat. And of course, it was a fucking Dokkan event. It was a Dokkan event boss rush. But anyways, I forgot to mention for today's meta that, of course, one of the tougher fights in the game right now is the red zone boss rush, obviously. Bojack is annoying as hell. I would just put that out there. Bojack is an annoying ass boss to go up against inside the red zone boss rush on JP, of course. Anyways, after all that has been I pretty much stated everything there. Alright, Extreme Super Battle Road and the Elite Skill / Dokkan event meta. So I think we can just start out with Extreme Super Battle Road. Why would you consider this and you know what? Hold on. Before I go ahead and talk about the Extreme Super Battle Road meta, I want to go ahead and pivot back on over to the Battle Road meta. And one thing I did remember about the Battle Road meta, just right now, is that those first 10 stages was pretty much monotypings only. And you couldn't use like the category leaders because, well, technically you could, but I don't recall / remember you being able to build a full team for this event, for those specific typing stages, for those first 10 stages. And in fact, we move the graph over for just a second. Let me go ahead and I gotta grab up, let's go over to challenge events. I need to grab up Battle Road in particular. Yeah, let me get you. You don't get your next first 10 stages like 2018 on JP, right? Yeah, July of 2018. And you come out like this is released in October 28th of 2017. Yeah, so that's waiting a long time for those first 10 stages those next 10 stages of Battle Road. Anyways, graph. Let's go ahead and bring the graph back up. All right. So with that out the way, I just had to real quick just say that because I feel like it would have been mentioned down below. Extreme Super Battle Road, and for fights in particular, because I'm pretty much grading how a meta would be based off of for... How would you grade a meta that's bad off of? Is pretty much would be for fights. God of the meta is fine. Today's meta is completely fine to me. Although these bosses are, I mean, that's a shitty argument. All these bosses technically hit hard at the time, right? Especially ESPR. Brother. Oh my god. Okay. I don't think I'd be fair with how I say this about Extreme Super Battle Road. Because you technically had options. But man, it took some time for Easy Ace to come out, like, you needed like that one piece to beat that stage. And that's like that for all of these metas, right? Oh man, but I feel as if though, to me, in my opinion, I feel like ESBR, when it had first released around that month, it just felt so punishing. That shit was hard. Like, but just because it was hard doesn't mean it was the worst. I want to say it was the worst because it's hard. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. But what I could say, and I know I have not done in-depth research on this right now, and I'm pretty much going strictly off of the dome. You know what? We probably should take a look at what they released within that year. We probably should for the battle. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. All right. Let's go ahead and we got to see. Okay. All right, so timeline. Let's go ahead and grab up JP real quick. Okay. So, okay, not the I picked the 9th year, excuse me. All right, let's get Japanese timeline. Then let's go ahead and get 5th year. All right, options. 5th year? Yeah, 2020, right? Yeah, it's 2020. Okay, so March of 2020. Battle releases around this time. Where's AJ Bardock? Beautiful. He's right there. All right. So, options going forth when Extreme Super Battle had first dropped. You have Tech Raditz, of course. You're not using AJ Bardock in there. Let's just be honest. Because the meta prior to Extreme Super Battle is the Legendary Goku event. And why the hell are you using this guy in there? Could he get by in there? I mean, if you get one of those fights where you're going up against a Wicked Bloodline enemy, sure. But, granted, you're not using AJ Bardock in there. Oh, man. Do I really want to glance through every single one of these options? You know what? To hell with it. We're just going to go ahead and just... Do we go based off assumption? You know what? Yes. All right. ESBR. For these fights, all right, let's go ahead and just real quick think for these first 10 stages. Now, were they tough? Yes. But I don't think it's fair to argue that point for it being the worst meta. Now, worst meta in my way of talking about it for fights, I'm not going to say it was because of it being tough, because that's not fair. I think, I feel like some of the options for a optimal team to be used for those first 10 stages of ESBR when it had first came out were literally almost not there. I think they're... I'm gonna double down. I think they weren't there. I feel like the options were very bare bones. I feel like they were bare bones. Yeah. Super bare bones. But you could really make the same argument for, you know what? I don't even want to... No, I don't want ESBR to be... Yeah, we're probably going to go with the Leader Skill / Dokkan event meta. Yeah. And I think... Yeah, let's go ahead and cross this out. Worst meta being that one. And I think... Wait, hold on. That's not the right color. I think the main reason I can say that is because... A, the toughest fights at those time... Basically, at that time, was... Dokkan events, and that's not really exciting compared to SBR, LGE, ESBR, the God event, and today's meta. Yeah. Now, granted, that is pretty subjective / opinionated, but pretty much this is an opinion-based video, and as you guys know, you can't have an opinion in the Dokkan community. It's either you're wrong or you're wrong. You're wrong or you're very wrong. Pretty much. You can't have no opinion in the Dokkan community. So, reasons why I would say that this was the worst meta is, A, up until a certain time, there were no GSSRs. B, the toughest fights in the game before the first Dokkan event were like, what was it, like, story events? Quest stages? And then, like, C, Dokkan events. Now, granted, there are some people out there that did enjoy those fights back then, and basically being my OGs, but man, oh man, like, putting Dokkan events up against all these other metas for fights, is that fair? It's not fair. I will say that, and I could take away a point for that specific thing, but we still do have to factor in that, like, but team building, I did say team building was super creative between this time. I remember the video that I said that in too. I said that. Do I take that back? Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that the first meta was the worst meta. Yeah, that no GSSRs, and you had to pull for some of these strong 120% leaders, some of these strong god leaders. You didn't pull them. It's like, not compared to today, where it's like, okay, we can leave off, for example, I don't know, Physical God Goku. Let's go ahead and just leave him off the team as one of the options we could run. It's like, no, we needed AGL Super Vegito. We needed Physical Vegito Blue. We needed AGL Goku Black. We needed STR Super Gogeta. We needed these options for us to run them on these teams. Yeah. In my opinion, I think this was the worst meta. And I know I was grading off of fights. Yeah, Dokkan events are not as exciting as any of these other metas I've pretty much mentioned. It's not. It is very subjective. It is very opinion based. But of course, this is an opinion video. And like I've already said, you can't have an opinion in the Dokkan community. I think that's going to be about it. I don't think there's much more to say about this. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Discord server down below in the description. Like the video if you enjoyed it. The next video will be on the best meta. Yeah, we're going to do that. Peace.